Today we are back again talking about more strategists that Marvel Rival needs, but with a twist. We are reviewing suggestions from our viewers, and I am going to start with Ironheart, who will be a flight strategist that can land on the ground as well, and she will have 300 health with overshields up to 425.
Today I got my girl Pixie, which was a request that I had. I have never even heard of Pixie before. We got 250 health, a flying, semi-flying type of strategist, because she does have wings.
So for Ironheart's primary fire, it'll be a burst of fire that's pretty much like Ultron's. It'll charge for about 3 seconds. But if a person is hit with 5 bursts in a row, it'll invoke stun for 3 seconds, doing 75 damage per burst with an additional plus 5 damage per hit while they're stunned. Her burst will also heal teammates, doing the same amount of healing.
For my primary fire, we got some red soul orbs. They're actually slower moving projectiles, moving at the pace at about Rocket's healing orbs, but they're about 3 times the size of those healing orbs. They do 60 damage and 60 health for enemies and for allies, and she has a clip of 5.
So along with the suggestions and even my own input, we decided on Ironheart having the magic being incorporated into her suit, and her ability will be called Hex Field, which creates pretty much like a dome bubble around Ironheart that will protect her and any teammate in a 10-meter distance, taking upwards of 750 health, or it'll stay up for 6 seconds in total with a cooldown of 25 seconds. And while in this bubble, it does 30 healing per second.
For my first ability, we have Soul Dagger Darts. She creates and smashes 2 soul daggers together and throws 1 soul dagger each time for each charge. She has 2 charges and each do 75 damage. Each charge has a cooldown of 7 seconds. Kind of similar to Moon Knight's Moonblade. That's where I took the little inspiration from.
For my second ability, it's called Advanced Projection, which allows her to create a clone of one of her teammates, and the clone does exactly what the actual player is doing, but the clone can't be healed, but it'll have the same amount of health as whoever she's cloning.
For my next ability, we got Supernatural Detection. For 4 seconds, she can reveal any hero for the team, allowing all of the team that were in a 10-meter radius around her when activated to see enemies, even through walls. It has a cooldown of 8 seconds, and it specifically highlights deployables, magic deployables included, so it can actually suss out the Loki clones and see which one is the real one.
For her final ability, I call Overwatch, which allows her to hack a shield helicarrier to pretty much motor bomb a particular area, doing 80 damage with a 25-second cooldown.
So I know you're all familiar with Strange's portals, but guess what? She's got portals too. Now, for her portal, she can teleport the whole group by placing a sigil on the ground by pressing the activation button to, start your ult. Then you press it to activate again once you actually pick where you want to teleport. It'll be an instant teleport, and everybody that was standing inside the sigil will go. And the way that we go is traveling through kind of like the Doom matches. Whenever you hit the teleporter in that, we're all going in like a pink mist ball. We teleport directly towards wherever it is that Pixie decided. Now, because it can't be used in weird offensive crazy plays like Strange's cooldown is 180 seconds. We're going with a cooldown 150 seconds.
Her passive pretty much is when her health runs out, we're going to be on some Hulk shit. She hops out of her suit before it explodes, and she's able to kind of run around as, good old Riri Williams. Pretty much like with that, she could be wearing like the tank top or maybe like the little hoodie with the arc reactor, I think, and like her puffy hair and shit, her comic look. Like Hulk though, she has to build up towards getting her calling her suit back in. She has like little arm cannons. Her primary fire definitely does change from what she has in a suit, as well as the damage. Each shot does 25 damage with a round of 10. She also carries 6 canisters, but each time she comes back with a new suit, the amount she has goes down by 1 until she officially dies and the count resets. And in this stage, she can also briefly fly close to the ground with like her homemade jet boosters for 5 seconds with a cooldown of 8 seconds.
We got the Wings of Avalon. It's a flight activation similar to Star-Lord's with a quick recharging bar, but it also gives her about 30 overshield a second. It starts to tick down after 2 seconds after she stops flight, but she can also push allies forward with it, giving them shielding as well. splitting it between the two. So say if you're a slow moving tank, group, get your ass in the point, boy. Let's move. Kind of like Angela, but for your allies.
And so we now come down to the ultimate that I call magical erasure, and this is kind of a combined idea that I had with my boy Jacoby. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but your name is on the screen. All the names from the suggestions that people wanted, they're gonna be on the screen.
Shout out to Pixie, man. Shout out to the Pixie girl. You were awesome.
Real rap. It should have been me, not him. But her ultimate is called Magical Erasure, which is pretty much like an EMP style blast. Now, all right, y'all going to just bear with me. It's like an EMP style blast that could cancel out the enemy team's abilities, including ults, even if they are in the middle of it for 10 seconds. However, I understand how that sounds OP, but it will have it's gonna take a long time for you to obtain it all. Like I'm thinking something like I know they're like 6,000 sounds like a lot, because I know like somebody like Strange is in the 4,000, so something like that can definitely turn the tide of battle really aggressively. And so yeah, something like that definitely needs to be a little more tame, but it's not like a cooldown. It's something that you definitely just have to work towards. So if you're going crazy, then you'll be rewarded by getting it faster.
All right, so mine is called Pixie Craze. She creates a pink misty trail, kind of like Captain America's, that heals as well as leaves a mist behind that blinds enemies. Allies will hear my magic fuels you, and enemies will hear nightmare soul dust. And any enemy that's caught inside of it also takes damage. So, yeah.
Gotta be honest, brother. Missed opportunity not calling it pixie dust, but hey, man, you can't beat them all.
You know what? Should have called it Pixie Soul Dust. That would have been crazy.
Come on now, hey man, better luck next time.
Man. Right? Can't win them all, man.
Hey, Guan, if you're listening, there you go. Alley-oop. For the team ups, I'm not gonna lie, I do have two. I went a little drawing, but they're cool abilities. I feel like nonetheless. So one team up she has with Iron Man, and it's called Iron Will, and she is the anchor for Iron Man, in which she receives the ability to harness his extremist ability. He can kind of control his suit with his mind and shit. And that pretty much he calls on like an old suit, and he can launch it at people like a missile, doing 100% damage on impact and 50 if they're just standing in the residual area, and she receives 5% healing bonus. And her team up with Doctor Strange is called Harbinger of Weird, with Strange being an anchor, and he receives a 5% damage boost. And Ironheart briefly receiving her Mace of Light and Truth, which comes from a comic where it was in like a place called Weird World, and Strange and a couple other people was there. She carried a mace, so she kind of swings it around, essentially kind of like it's essentially Magneto and Gambit's team up, and it does 30 damage per swing, being able to do up to 10 swings with a cooldown of 35 seconds.
For my team up, we got Magical Demon Maidens. With the magic on the team, Pixie is able to summon a demon child to help her, just like Magic. And with Magic, she's able to use a pink smoke bomb that heals her for 75 and has a cooldown of 25 seconds for both of them. Magic finna be broken with her on the team, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy.
If she wasn't banned before, she's getting banned now.
Don't let Magic be on there with a Strange too.
Honestly, the three of them, like Ironheart, Doctor Strange, and Magic, bro, one above all. One above all with that comp.
Ban the team. Get them out of here.
Real right. And last but not least, we've come down to our costumes. I have but three. I don't think she really has that many like alternate designs, but I've chosen the Riot Heart, the Ironheart Model 3, and Lady Ironheart, which is the costume that Weird World comic comes from.
Alright, I got the classic X-Men training outfit, the yellow and blue outfit. Classic, can't go wrong with that. She's one of the OG X-Men's from 04. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people know about her, but she like that.
And that has been our viewer suggestions for Strategist and Marvel Rivals. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it. And as always, I'm Keese.
And I'm Breeze.
And the struggle art continues.
Be breezy.